It's Song Talk Radio.
Welcome to Song Talk Radio. This is the show with songwriters talking to other songwriters about the craft of songwriting. We share tips, tools, and techniques, and together we all become better at writing songs. I'm your host, Neil Modi. Unfortunately, my other co-host, Phil Emery, is absent tonight, so once again, I'm running solo with our guests tonight. Please send your comments and questions to @SongTalkRadio on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or feedback@songtalk.ca for the email, and we'll share your thoughts on the show. And please visit us at songtalk.ca to find a show post for this episode, to find links to the things we mention, and to download lyric and chord sheets to follow along with the songs that we feature. Tonight, we have Nabs-D and Teresa joining us to talk about their new song, On the Run. Here's a little taste of their song.
No longer will we sacrifice our lives. We gotta get on the run. We gotta get on the run before we lose our minds. Come on, let's get on the run. Come on, we'll make a move now. Jump in.
Nabs-D started with practicing his bass along with the drum track, as he does every day. He got the idea for this bass line, and the track was born with the verses and choruses. Without hesitation, Nabs-D recorded the idea right away, and the inspirational ideas kept on coming. This doesn't always happen, but from one simple bass line, the melodic mid section, guitar solo, and the rap section came out naturally. Nabs presented the idea to Teresa, and she loved it immediately, and instantly she had the idea for the lyrics and the melody, and with her amazing, powerful, distinctive voice, she easily laid down a vocal track. The duo are busy preparing a music video and expect to release the single by the end of September 2022. Welcome back. Welcome to Song Talk Radio, Nabs-D and Teresa. Welcome back for you, Nabil. You've been on the show before. It's great to have you guys on the show.
Thank you.
So can you guys talk a little bit about how you started collaborating? How did you meet, and how did the first collaboration session go?
We actually met through a mutual friend of ours who is also an artist. He had a song idea that he wanted me to put vocal melodies on. He had the lyrics, and he wanted me to put my vocal melodies with his lyrics, and wanted Nab to record it. So I went over one evening to Nab's studio and recorded the song, I think in like 1 or 2 takes. And Nabs was like, "Who are you?"
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like I basically had just heard the song a couple hours earlier, and went into the studio and had something ready to go. And Nabs asked me if I wanted to collaborate, and I said yes. It was really lovely working with him, and we just started working.
Really?
I think you sent me the song. You sent me the song maybe a few days later. Was it?
Yeah, something like that. I think. Yeah. I had something in mind going on, and then after I met Teresa, and it was like incredible. I said, I need to work with you, because your voice is spectacular. The range of your voice, the vocal, this is exactly what I've been looking for a long time. And I told Teresa, we need to work, right away, and I'm gonna start writing songs. And it happened instantly, as I mentioned, that I got to write a song really for Teresa, and I didn't have no idea what or how to start. But as I started playing bass and all that, came up with this bass line, and I thought this would work. And it's just laying down the track and slowly and then building up, layering the track, synth whole bunch of synthesizers and sequencing and all that stuff, and just all of a sudden the thing just went beautifully,
And when,
And
when
then
you're
so the-
composing this stuff, Nabil, you don't have any sense of what the melody is going to be, or do you?
Not really. Not really. I had I layered all the tracks, and I just told Teresa, here's the tune, here's what I have, what I've done, and just I leave it to you, the lyrics and the melody, and just came. She had everything ready, and she said, well, why don't you come down and record and see what we got?
Okay.
And she came down. We did a couple of takes, and it was right there.
Okay.
The track was there, and we just started editing and working on some vocals, harmonies, and all that stuff.
So how did it work for you then, Teresa? You got Nabil's track,
Yeah.
and did the music, the vibe of the music, or the melody, anything that inspired the lyric, or
Yeah, pretty instant. I opened the track and I listened to it once through. The first time I listened to it, the pre-chorus came to me pretty instant,
Okay.
and it's actually the second pre-chorus in the song because there's two.
Mhm.
So the pre-chorus came to me pretty quickly, and then I listened to it again, and then the chorus came to me, and then the third time I listened to it, and then a bunch of verses came to me. After that, I basically sat with it for a couple days, marinating, and structured it out. Piecing different verses together, different lines, and the way it flowed, the story, just pretty much came very quickly and very naturally. It was very, very inspirational right away.
Mhm.
The rap part, actually, there was no rap part. It was basically we were expecting it to be an instrumental.
Yeah.
And after we were sitting there listening to it, we had recorded it, couple takes, and we were sitting there listening to it, and all of a sudden I started saying the rap part. I was like, I think I have something. Nab's like, what is that? Yeah, I love that. Let's record it.
Yeah.
Now, because I don't know what's coming out. So I basically just spit it out, rapped it out, and went on the microphone like 5 minutes later and laid down the rap part.
Nice.
Yeah. And speaking of the rap part, actually, because as Teresa mentioned, because there was this gap of just instrumental going, right? And, we wanted to make the length of the song, airplay the length of the song, right? So that part, whether we keep it or not, but it has to make sense lyrically as well, right? Otherwise, we're just going to keep the solo, guitar solo, and then moving into the, half of the verse and chorus and then out, right?
Right.
But Teresa came up with the rap part and just like, what? This is it. This is exactly what we've been wanted, looking for. And it just rhythm, the lyrics just rhythmically worked perfectly, So I started laying rhythm underneath her rapping, right? So I came up with, the rap was rhythmic. The lyrics were really rhythmic. So it made a lot of sense to me to come up with that rhythm part to complement her rapping section.
So when you guys introduced the rapping part, did you go back and write the music bed, an additional music bed for underneath that, or does that just go under the same music bed as the guitar solo?
Well, yeah, the guitar solo was kept for the guitarist because we have our friend back in my friend in the Middle East who laid it down for us.
Oh, okay.
So I after everything was ready to go, and we talked about we need a nice a rock guitar solo there, heavy guitar, just to give it that rock pop groove feel to it, right?
Yeah.
So I approached my friend in the Middle East, and I sent it to him, and I told him, hey, this is what I'm looking for, a nice distortion guitar solo, right? And not longer than I don't know, was it 20 seconds? Not even.
It's pretty short in the track, yeah.
Short, yeah, and
it's nice and short.
He nailed it. Sent it to me, and I just mixed it. I put it in the mix, and I mixed it down properly, and there we have it. So that guitar solo took the flow of the song to instantly to the rap. That flowed really beautifully,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and that worked really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for you guys and for our listeners, we will be listening to the entire track in a little bit after we talk about it a little bit more. But I just want to get a little bit of the background on you, Teresa. You're a singer, obviously. Do you play any instruments at all, or?
Actually, I grew up studying dance. I was actually a singer from birth, I guess.
From the crib.
Yeah.
I was the only child that she would just put in the crib and have the monitor on and listen to me sing melodies until I fell asleep.
Nice.
Yeah. And I started my career actually at 4 years old, believe it or not. I was discovered singing on a coffee table, Don't Stop Believing. And I was lucky to have a babysitter at the time who was also a singer. And she had just got back from a tour with Jeff Healey.
Wow.
Yeah, so her mother approached my mom saying, there's going to be no children at this party, but I know Teresa and Louisa love each other, so she wants to be there. And of course, me being the outgoing child that I was, I ran off and made adult friends and decided to sing them Don't Stop Believing. So there was a talent agent there that said, I need to meet the mother of this child. And the next day I was in a recording studio with Canadian artists singing for United Way. We did a Christmas like the Canadian version of banding.
Yeah.
So we did that, and I was there at 4 years old. And from there, I did all kinds of voiceovers and commercials and TV, film. And I also studied dance competitively across North America, and basically just started doing live musicals as well. And I went off to do Deerhurst Resorts, and then cruise ships. And so I've just been singing and dancing my whole life.
And what about your approach to writing the melodies, for this song or for any other song? Do you, what I'm curious about, because like I've done kind of similar to what Nabil has done, where I've written an instrumental thing, given it to a singer. And in my experience, there's always been a bit of back and forth. And we need to restructure this, or maybe that chord doesn't quite right, or maybe that melody needs to change a little bit here or there. Like there's always a bit of back and forth. It sounds like you guys just like, it was a little bit of Bernie Taupin, Elton John kind of thing, where it's like, here's the music, here's the melody and lyric, done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
I write instrumental most of my stuff, as you know about that, right, Ian?
Yeah.
So the first thing in mind was an instrumental, but I hardly write any vocal songs with a singer, right? And for some reason, this particular tune in my mind, right away it hit it. It needs vocals, and Teresa was right there, and the song was just born instantly. And like most of my writing is all instrumental as a bass player, and I play multiple bass lines when I'm writing songs and all that. So I harmonize my bass lines and all that stuff. I play chords, I play rhythm, and I play solos. And so I got pretty good ideas of melodies and all that stuff. But this is totally different. This is totally like out of my usual songwriting or music writing as an instrumentalist first. And it's something just out of my box that I usually do, and it worked out really perfect. Yeah.
It's lucky, and it's pretty happy when it magically works out that way. Because I mean, obviously you're both experienced musicians. In that sense, Teresa, if with your voice and Nabs with your instrumental stuff. So sometimes it just comes together very easily. That's not to say that it'll work like that every time.
Yeah.
But you guys have done a few songs now, is that right? Yeah. And how are those working out?
Yeah, really good. The second song that Nab sent me was one that he had written, lyrics and vocal melody as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he wanted me to sing that song. So we recorded that one, and that one was really fun to do. It had a lot of harmonies, and I was able to add that element to it. So that was really fun. I love adding harmonies to songs. And then the next one that we did is basically the same kind of idea. He sent me the track, and pretty instantly I had a chorus to it. With lyrics very fast. And so that one is in the works right now. And so we're very excited. We're creating new music together, and it's
it's amazing. We really have this good collaboration together, and we hit it really quickly, and we have the ability to do that together, and it's great. It's working out really beautifully, in terms of I'll let Teresa come up with the melody and the lyrics, and I'll take care of the music part of it and all the editing and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's working out so far good, and we're really hoping, hopefully, we'll come up with the down the road an EP, maybe like is something like an EP. We're talking about that in the near future.
Cool.
Yeah, 5 to 6 tunes.
I want to ask you, Teresa, a little bit about your lyrical approach. What I actually do find it a little bit curious, because when you read the title, On the Run, and you think maybe the song is about someone on the lam or trying to escape from something, or Band on the Run is what you think of Band on the Run, and it's like it's kind of a criminal element maybe or something like that. But you kind of turned it on. You kind of turned it on its head, and this is much more positive and much more upbeat and sort of about. You do have a lyric in there, "Escape the Madness," but there's something in the feel of the song, and something also in the lyric that's just forward and very optimistic.
100%. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that. I really wanted it to be very upbeat and positive and joyful. On the Run is basically a metaphor for escaping. In the song, I'm putting a call out to those who want to escape, or an energetic escape, or a spiritual escape from, the day-to-day, the mundane, the ordinary routines, the rat race, the hamster wheel, and let's create a new earth of unity, love, compassion, joy. We are divine souls, and we have the power to create and co-create paradise. So let's do it.
Yeah, it worked really well. I love the lyrics. I think that did just beautifully, and I love the flow of the lyrics, and just works really, really well.
Yeah, and I think the unity between the music and the melody and the lyric is really strong, actually, and I love the changes in it, because the verse is very punchy with "stand up," right? It's very punchy, and the pre-chorus gets melodically a little bit more legato, and then the chorus just rings out with this like amazing positive energy, and it's really. Yeah,
it's like the dynamics from the song, how it flows beautifully. The dynamics, from verse to pre-chorus to chorus, just the flow of the dynamic works really, really. I think it really works really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, why don't we take a listen to the whole track, and then we'll talk about it some more.
Awesome, thanks.
Here we go.
No longer will we sacrifice our lives. We gotta get on the run. We gotta get on the run before we lose our mind. Come on, let's get on the run. Come on, we'll make a move now. Jump in, moving along. On high, we're one, stronger in numbers. Keep up, faster we fly. No time. we're breaking it down. Right foot, left foot, shimmy and shake. There's no time to waste as we make our escape. Heads up, hands up, come on, let's begin. No time to hesitate, I would do it again. Stand up, it's time for rising. Feel good, the time is now. Straight up, it's getting closer. Heads first, our souls fly. We gotta get on the run. Come on, let's get on the run. Come on, let's get on the run. We gotta get on the run. We gotta get on the run. Before we lose our minds, we gotta get on the run.
Very cool.
Like that ending.
Yeah, I love the ending. Totally. Yeah, totally fits. Totally fits.
I had to add that.
Nice and simple, but that gets you right to the point.
Yeah.
A couple of things I noticed that when I listened to this again, the structure isn't necessarily consistent. Like you've got, one verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then you've got like a verse and a half, like another half of verse before you get to a pre-chorus, and then the chorus. And then the bridge is a completely different thing, which is really a nice surprise and very cool. And the rap section, of course, fantastic. I really, really love it. I almost wish the rap section was longer. Like, no hesitate, no time to hesitate. I would do it again. I'm like, do it again. Come on. Let's do it again. But really, really catchy. And it's interesting that it's like, it is kind of a long song. It's 3 minutes and 50 seconds in terms of minutes and seconds, but it's also a long song in the sense that it's very dynamic. There's a lot of things happening and a lot of changes and a lot of back and forth and a lot of surprises, and it keeps you pulling along, but it's quite the journey, in fact. But,
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, there's enough variation and there's enough repetition.
Yeah.
You get the familiar and you get the surprises, so it's an excellent balance between those two things. It's a really, really great job.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious about the structural thing. Like must have been a little bit of back and forth with the music and the melody writing, because how do you insert half a verse without the music changing a little bit? But it is just sections, isn't it? Like kind of extend this, pull this back, whatever.
You only took out one section, didn't you? No.
I think we did. Yeah, we took half. That's right. Before going into the drop,
Yeah.
We took half a verse,
Yeah.
right, and then we cut it right up to go just leading into the drop, just to make it more interesting. Otherwise, it become longer.
Yeah.
So and then I guess the second half of that verse, it went to the right after the rap section, actually. After
There's another verse after the rap. Yeah.
Verse, yeah. So to make it more interesting, right? Otherwise, it'll be too long of a verse, of a second verse, the chorus.
What was the reason for the extra half a verse before the second chorus? Was that a lyrical thing? You wanted to say something else?
Yeah.
I want everyone to stand up and rise up.
It just turned out like it just made sense, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, because it's it's interesting. Like the bridge is really interesting from a lyrical perspective, because it really kind of flies off into this other place. You got the Starship reference, you got Magical Mystery Ride. There's a little Beatles reference there,
Yeah, exactly.
which is really quite neat. I almost thought the rap section could have adopted some of those ideas and really played with those kind of things. And the rap section is fun as it is, but that would have been really. Yeah. It's kind of thing that live you could really extend that rap section and just have a lot of fun with the Magical Mystery Ride thing.
Exactly.
And going off on that would be really kind of cool. A little bit psychedelic even.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
Band on the Run, because that's a very iconic, epic song of changes.
Yes, it's like a mini suite of things.
Like Three songs in one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
not quite Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's almost getting there. Yeah, it's very interesting. And yeah, so again about the lyrics, I think yeah, I mean the chorus is remarkably simple, but it's so catchy. Let's get on the run. We got to get on the run. Come on, let's get on the run before we lose our minds. Like it's very simple.
Hooky, yeah.
And you know and I like that. It's like the verses kind of talk about the the verses actually have a really good amount of, I wouldn't say imagery, but like action, right? Like standing and riding and joining and jumping and moving and dust off your shoulders and reaching up high, right? This very action oriented. And then even the chorus, let's get on the run. I mean, the run is the most action oriented of them all, but it does kind of encapsulate everything else. So I think it's really cleverly put together that way, and very highly craftily put together in that sense, which is really cool. And the pre-chorus, of course. No, and I really like the pre-chorus. The pre-choruses, if anything, they're actually a really good departure between the verses and the choruses. And you didn't have a pre-chorus before the last chorus.
No.
What was the reason behind that? Was there one before and you took it out, or was it just
the pre-chorus is the first thing that I wrote for the song. The second pre-chorus.
Yeah.
Thing.
Right.
Then we wanted to add it to another pre-chorus, but I didn't want to use the same lyrics. So I came up with what I came up with there. And then I felt like I just wanted to get right back into that catchy part right after the half verse there at the end. I just wanted to get right back into that because we have a pause right in the music, and it's just kind of vocally heavy, and then right back into the catchy part of the song, the fun dancey part.
Yeah.
I do think it works. Like there's no, you don't miss the pre-chorus there.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you did it the first time, the second time is quite enough.
Yeah, which is a great idea because that keeps the energy going, especially at the end of the song, you know, and the element of it, you know, so it keeps driving on until the end. So you want to keep that energy going until the end dynamically, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you don't want to keep them. So maybe the pre-chorus won't fit in there at the end.
Yeah.
Right after that, the the rap part and all that, it just the energy stays on and it keeps the flow going beautifully.
Yeah. Because
it's got the element, and the element of pop, bluesy rock, and all that modern sounds and all that put the whole thing in perspective. You know, it's a lot of new stuff going on, and like it's got that Teresa. Yeah, we talked about this. It's got that also 80s, 90s vibe to it, as well as the modern side of it, which is the instrumentation, all that. So put together, give it all that full element of the tune. Oh yeah.
It does sound fresh and modern and retro at the same time. It's very cool. But that's an interesting point, Nabs, about the. I always refer to it as like the energy map of a song, right? And the sense of tension and release, because verses generally are tension, choruses are release, and that's certainly the case here. The pre-chorus is more tension before you drop into the chorus, which is a kind of conventional thing to do. It's like verse, we're not going to do the drop just yet. We're not going to drop into the chorus just yet. We have a little bit more to say. We're going to keep it tense for a little while, right? So it's like it's like it ramps up to the chorus and then repeats. It ramps up to the chorus again, and then it goes to this other strange place in the bridge, and then the rap and the guitar solo, and then at the end you just want it to ramp up. You don't want it to. You don't want another drop in the energy, and that feeds into the more staccato ending, the bum bum, right? It's not a gentle ending because we've ramped up this energy and we just want to finish big. We want to finish, with some oomph, and that totally fits, and that feels right from an energy map perspective. Because to be honest, the bridge. The guitar solo is a bit of a dip in energy, and then the rap kind of starts ramping it up again and goes up from there. It's kind of cool. Very neat. Very neat. Yeah.
And what do you think of the intro?
Yeah, the intro is a little bit softer, right? It's just a pad, like a synth pad, whatever, and then the beat comes in. It's nice in that it's kind of minimalist at the beginning, right? We're just getting the groove, we're getting the thing going.
Warming up.
Yeah, we're just warming up, right? But once the drums and everything come in, it's not too long. I am a little bit surprised that it's almost 4 minutes, because it's like there's so much happening and so much energy to it that you think it's going to be, this short, snappy pop song. But I think the guitar solo and the rap kind of extend it a little bit. The little bit longish intro. It's certainly not, like most pop songs these days, they're not going to do an intro like that. Yeah. They're just going to get into the main thing, and the vocal comes in right away, and you get to your hooks as quickly as you can, kind of thing. Here it is kind of an older style of song where it's like tension. Finally, the first. I remember back in the day, I had a Sony CD player that had this function. I'm talking like in the 90s. I had a Sony CD player that had this skip ahead button. And what it would basically do is fast forward each track to the 1 minute mark, because the 1 minute mark was where your chorus would always happen. And I was looking at my player while I was doing this thing. When I was playing back your track, I'm like, yeah, 1 minute. And that's exactly where your chorus happens. Actually, your chorus is done by the 1 minute mark. It actually starts at like 45 seconds in, which is very cool, right? But that's, I don't know, like the most pop songs these days, they're so loaded with hooks right off the bat that your chorus.
Yeah, exactly. You want to keep the listener engaged right away. That's the main thing. And that's what I have in mind. You don't want to get them off this. Okay, no, that's it. We know what's coming. So, like you mentioned, the energy, you have to keep the energy going, and then give me more surprises as the song goes along. Oh, wow, there's more coming. And that's the whole idea we came up with. You want to keep them engaged throughout the whole song. Yeah. And it turned out really good. Speaking of the intro, actually, when we wrote it, I didn't have the intro. The intro came later. Oh, I guess it started with the sort of like just the bass line. I did the 4-bar bass line, and then boom, and the song started, right? But I felt like there's something missing. And I'm like, as an instrumentalist, I always like to come up with an intro, something to lead into the song, to make it more interesting, right? So I came up with this little, pads and synthesizer and all that stuff, and sequencing going on before the intro, and it made more sense to me, and I guess it worked really well.
Yeah, I think it works.
I think yeah,
it most certainly works, because I don't even know why it works, but I think because the song is such a journey that you can add another little thing to it, and it'll agree with that line, right? It'll be within your thesis to do that.
Yeah. Let's squeeze it in,
Yeah. And like I said, it's not like it's too long. It's not, a super long intro, anything like that. So it's really, it's really, really great stuff. I really enjoyed it. So what's coming up next for you guys then?
We have a show coming up, a showcase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the 29th.
Where's that?
The 24th, possibly, yes.
Oh, the 24th.
I think they. Yeah, we're waiting.
Where is everybody?
Yeah, I think I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that, but that would be great. Yeah.
So that's September 24th, and where is that?
Well, hopefully it's going to be in Toronto, but I think it's going to be like a live on stage down somewhere in the East York area.
Okay.
And live stage will be multiple bands playing, and we're going to be showcasing maybe about 20 minutes to half an hour. We'll be playing, On the Run and the other tunes that we'll be working on, hopefully.
Nice.
And we'll see how it goes. But this is something we've been waiting for an answer. Hopefully I'll get an answer within this week. I'm not sure.
And is it just the two of you on stage? So you're playing your bass and you're singing two backing tracks?
Yes.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah. I do all my backing tracks in my studio. I do all the editing, mixing, and mastering, and to a stereo level. And we do also some cover material, Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Okay.
and just in case we get gigs like any gig that requires cover band with original. So we have what do we have, over 2 hours of material right now,
Oh, really?
between
Okay.
original and cover.
Mhm.
We're ready to go as you know, once we get a gig like that, we're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always said cover songs are a great way to get the audience on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, corporates and stuff like that. You know, we can do it, no problem.
Mhm.
We also shot a video for On the Run a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yep.
The editing process right now, so we'll be releasing that around the same time as we release the song, end of September. So
Very cool. And so where can our listeners find all this stuff? Where can they follow you?
Well, we gonna, this song is gonna be on all major music platforms like
Okay.
Spotify, Deezer, and iTunes. It'll be released hopefully by the end of September, and followed by, I guess, the video, or it might be at the same time. And then you're gonna be streaming it or downloading it from, you know, Bandcamp, music platforms, YouTube, and it'll be also on SoundCloud or any major music platforms. It will be on.
Right on. Okay. And
and of course social media.
yeah,
So
but
we'll be
what's
posted
the
everywhere.
what's the handle? What's the at?
we have separate handles right now.
Okay. So, parsing that out.
I'm fiercely.divine.healing on Instagram.
Okay, fiercely.divine.healing. Okay, on Instagram. And Nabs, you got a
Nabil.Durzi
Nabil.Thursday on Instagram?
on Instagram, yeah.
Right on. Okay. Very cool. Okay. Yeah. And I noticed, did I see something on Facebook from you guys? I don't know. From you, maybe.
Yeah, I'm on like Nabs-D, Grooves Audio Production. You'll be on Grooves Audio Production, Nabs-D, and Nabil. We're on all these accounts, and anyways on Facebook.
Right on. Okay.
Places, and, yeah, it'll be all over the places.
Yeah, absolutely. Just do it all. Right on.
Do it all.
Okay. I think that is about all the time we have on the show today. So thanks very much to Nabs-D and Teresa for joining us. Fantastic song. We look forward to hearing some more stuff from you. For our listeners, we want to hear from you too. So please send us your comments on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Song Talk Radio, or send us an email, feedback@songtalk.ca. Also be sure to check out our YouTube channel for live performance videos and full episodes. Subscribe today to the Song Talk Radio podcast on your favorite podcast provider, and don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter at songtalk.ca. You can find links to all the products, books, and web services we mentioned on the show on our website. And wherever you are in the world, please join us via Zoom at our next monthly Song Talk meetup. It's free to join on meetup.com and free to attend the meetup. Stop by songtalk.ca for the link. You bring a song and a lyric sheet and get constructive feedback from other songwriters, or you can just come and hang out with us and just listen. You can follow me at neilmodi.com. Be sure to follow Nabs-D and Teresa on their social medias, as we mentioned. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to stop by the website songtalk.ca to browse past shows and find out how you can be a guest. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and keep on writing.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
So long.
Thank you.
Great. Awesome
I'm not
stuff,
on air.
guys.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that was great fun. Really dig your track. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear something that's not cynical, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more positive, uplifting. It's a great track.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be more and more of those kind of songs. You know, I mean, we have kind of the same ideas of the songs right now. You know, I mean, which is great. You know, I'm like an old school from the '90s. You know me, right, and all that.
Yeah.
So and Teresa has exactly the same. You know, and it works out really perfectly. So we can like combine elements of old school and new school kind of stuff and put it together and see what comes up. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I even wrote some EDM stuff, you know, but instrumental and stuff like that. So, we're gonna see if we incorporate that with Teresa's singing and kind of do, the whatever, like it's gonna sound great. Like the new couple of tracks we've been working on. I think Teresa is gonna do great with that.
Mhm.
I am positive, sure with that. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you're that kind of vocalist, Teresa. You just okay, anything goes. You can handle it. Right on. That's very cool. You don't have a you can get to this on the episode proper. You don't have a musical theater background, do you?
I do. Yeah.
You do? Okay. I
I
kind of heard
mentioned
that.
it a little bit
Yeah.
when I was talking about my background. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Choir and stuff too, I bet.
No, I was
No?
always in a choir.
Oh,
They would yell that my voice was too big. They're like, your voice is too bad.
put you in the lead. Put you at the front. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, musical theater is a little more solo oriented, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And, with my dance background as well.
Yeah.
I always, went to that kind of avenue because I love stage performing.
Mhm.
Like live performances are just my joy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you
I
mean.
love the energetic give and take of the audience. I love, the give and take of the performers on stage and musicians, and it's just
Mhm.
quite an experience that. My mom asked me one time when I was really, really young and I was doing a show downtown. I think I was like 13, and I was doing a show downtown. And she says, like, what's your favorite thing in the whole entire world, or something along those lines? And I said, well, I feel like I'm my most comfortable when I'm on stage. And she was like,
Mhm.
oh. Like coming from a 13-year-old, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. I always tell people like there's no high quite equivalent to that. It's a great high.
Yeah.
It's every musician's drug of choice, I think.
Yeah. You get first the butterflies on stage when you're and then the and all that stuff, and then when you start going, you're going, and then you give it all, right?
Like
Yeah.
just to the rehearsal process, the training, you like for me, a vocalist who's also a dancer, there's like intense training that has to go
Oh yeah.
cardiovascularly.
Yeah. You got to be fit.
Yeah. And I love it. Like I love preparing for shows. I get to that like Rocky Balboa mindset, and I'm like, here we go. So
yeah. And thank goodness we're finally getting back into. I've been to a number of live shows in the last few months, and it's like it's so good to be back. Even in the audience, it's just good to be back.
Yeah, we hope we'll do some live shows soon, and we'll see how that goes. We can't wait. And Neil, there is I sent you our website, along with the rest of the stuff. You can see Teresa a few real videos on the website.
Okay, I'll check that out.
On boat cruises and places like that.
Okay.
And then dance and performing and singing.
Yeah, definitely. We'll link to that too in our show post when we do that.
If you want to check that out,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay, guys. Well, yeah. Thanks again for coming, and I'll give you a heads up when the episode is published, and you can share it with your peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
All right.
Okay. Well, have a great night, and we'll talk soon.
For sure. Thanks, Neil.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.